Episode 21, Michael McCoy's Garden, the 8th of June, 1998. There's a totally false sense of security around these days, with all of winter ahead, a feeling of an infinite amount of time to get all the things done that must be done by spring if this garden is to meet my expectations and the consequent expectations of the Australian Open Garden Scheme. I hope I shall be sufficiently convinced of its falsity before too much of winter is past. But I dug the woodland garden the other day and got so far so quickly that I feel I have heaps of time to do the rest. Of course, I should do it now, then enjoy the leisure later, but that won't happen. Long ago, I recognised a characteristic in myself that likes to leave things until it's almost too late, quite consciously, then to curse myself as I panic to get it done, mumbling under my breath, "Well, you've done it again." You can hear that rain outside. Oh golly, it's really haily and kind of sleety, like they're expecting snow today, so it looks very much like a snow precursor out there. Nice and warm in here. 13th of July, 1998. I've just completed a small set of slate stairs to lead into the vegetable garden. I never look forward to the construction of hard landscaping such as paths, stairs, etc., as plants are my real love. But I always find that I enjoy it once started. The slate for the vegetable garden paths and lawn edges now needs to be laid, and once that's done, I'll really feel like I'm getting somewhere. The slate was picked up from a demolition site, a lovely pale grey, 50 to 70 millimetres thick with a flaky textured surface. It was going to be thrown away, simply bulldozed, and I only had time to pick out about 20 square metres of the best regular shapes before the dozers disposed of the rest. At least twice as much became landfill. I've asked a local builder to construct the studio that will form a major focal point in the garden. I salvaged windows and doors from the same site as the slate, being torn from a very pretty house in an increasingly prestigious and increasingly ugly suburb in town. The rest of the building will be of corrugated iron. Well, now there's a little winter picture of the garden in that first winter, a little bit that was looking particularly good that winter with a dusting of snow. Look at that. Might have the same thing later on today, all going well. Oh, now the wind's starting to howl through the doors. 15th of July, 1998. Whilst all of the deciduous plants in the garden look decidedly dead, there's a little movement in other things. Narcissus Jenny has appeared, which I like best of the miniature narcissus that are commonly available. Euphorbia martinii has started to put on its terminal tuft of red suffused leaves, contrasting beautifully with the blue-green of the mature foliage and showing, I expect, that it intends to flower this season. Euphorbia mercenites is also expanding, and I can't wait for its acid yellow to warm the garden up a bit. Erythema mutabile, winter joy, is still fully in bloom. You would expect that at this time of year, but I wouldn't have expected it to flower without ceasing since spring last year. That performance won't be repeated in the coming season because I'll have to cut them back to prevent them from becoming huge and woody. Alternatively, I could propagate new plants and replace them annually, thus eliminating the cutting back downtime. But that requires forethought, time, and somewhere to put the cuttings, all of which are likely to be lacking this season. So that gets us to the end of July in that first winter. It gives me 1 month left to complete all that I have to do for the coming spring. As usual, I've left everything too late, but join me tomorrow to just see how well I rise to the challenge of the last month of winter. See you then.